Hi, my name's James, and in this video I'll be showing you how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Stay tuned to learn a simple, easy step-by-step method to solving the Rubik's Cube without all the complicated algorithms. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be solving the Rubik's Cube like a pro. Step 1. The daisy. So the daisy basically means that we need to make a white cross around the yellow center. Bear in mind that the center pieces represent the color of that side. So this side should be white because the centerpiece is white. This side should be green because the centerpiece is green, and so on and so forth. Red. So we have, I guess I should preface the whole video by saying that these are edge pieces because they have edges. Or corner, sorry. These are corner pieces. And these are edges. So we need the top, the yellow face, to have a white cross using the edges, not the corners. So that's what we need to do. How are we going to do that? We just look for edge pieces that have white in it. That's the first thing you want to do. So here, here, and so on and so forth. And we need to get them up here. So it's just a case of logic. You don't really need an algorithm to do this. Here's one here. If we get them into the center layer, the second layer, facing outwards or towards us, doesn't matter. And then we bring that up. And so now that's here in its place, correct place. We need to do the same with these three here. So we have one here. First thing to do is bring it to the side, bring it up, and now it's positioned for us to be able to bring it up here. We bring it up. We've got two now. Look for another centerpiece. Here's one. Obviously, if we have it situated like this, we don't want to bring this white up because it would move this white. So we move it out the way, bring it up. Now we have one more that we need to get onto this, into this middle piece here, middle layer. Here we have it here. We don't want to do that because that will move this piece out the way. So we need to rotate and then bring it up. And there we have the daisy. So after we've done our daisy, the next thing we want to do is match the edge pieces, the edge color of each of the white squares that make up the daisy. We need to match those with the centerpiece. So we need to see an orange here. So we can either swivel the bottom two layers or the top layer and follow the top layer around until we see orange. So we see orange here. I prefer to move it like this with my right hand, so I move it, but if you're okay with moving it this way, that's fine too. And we just need to turn that twice, so once, twice, through 180 degrees, so it ends up on the bottom here. Okay, so we do the same with the others. We look for, if you want, you can keep the green here and just swivel the top until you see the green. There's the green. Maybe that's quicker. 1, 2. Then we look for the blue. So we can either look for the orange or look for the... No, it's better actually, because in this case I think we have a white here. So it's better to look for the center color to match this rather than this colored square to match the center, because you could get into trouble there. So move the bottom layer, follow it around the bottom two layers until you find blue. 1, 2, so that's on the bottom as well. We've got one more, which is this one here, red, and that's already in its position. 1, 2. Now we flip the cube upside down. So before we had the yellow layer facing up, now we're going to roll the cube around so that we have the white layer, face facing up. So we've got a white cross now because we've moved these white pieces, edge pieces, around the white centerpiece, and we need to just fill in the rest of these pieces. Sometimes you'll have one there already or two just by chance. This time we have none, so we have to do them all. The ideal place to have the white pieces is facing outwards on the bottom row, such as this piece here. This is a good place to start. So we need to get our pieces into this position. But if you have one already, just work with that. we look at the bottom, the color is red. So we need to position this so that the white will go up here and this would be red. So we need to move the top two layers until we see red. That's here. So now we know that this will end up here where this orange piece is, and this white will end up here, and that's its correct place because it matches with the center. So how do we do that? We move it out the way, but caution, you can't move it this way because the white would end up on this left side, and we need to be turning this left side to insert the piece up here. So we move it away. When I say away, means to the opposite side of the cube. Bring this down, move the bottom in, so we have the piece we just moved away, and bring it back up. This is the famous, in cube lingo, this would be Ruru, right up, and that can move cubes into where you need them, but it's just logic, you can just move it out the way. So let's look for another one. We have another one here. What's the color? It's blue. Is it on its right, in the right place? Yes, because this is blue. So we just have to move it out of the way. Seeing as it's on the right, we move it to the left. Bring the right side down towards us. Insert that piece and bring it back up. Now it's in its correct place. It's blue here, it's white here. Let's continue. Do we have any others? Okay, so now what do we do here? We've got a white up here and we've got a white here. We need to get the white on facing out on this bottom row. So one way to do it, make sure that the white is beneath an empty square. So in this case it's here, and it's beneath an empty, when I say empty square, I visualize it that way, it's empty, we need to fill it in with white. Bring it towards you, it's here, move it out of the way. Again, out of the way means to the opposite side of the cube, not this way. And then bring this back. So we haven't, the reason why this needed to be empty is because had it have been white, we would have moved it. Now we've got this white on the bottom layer. We can repeat the steps that we took before. So look for this blue, look for the blue side. That's here, move it, it goes on this side, so move it out of the way, bring it down, fill it in, bring it back up. We just got one more to do now, which is here, it's orange. So we go to the orange side, move it out the way. So the white was here, we move it out of the way to the other side of the cube, bring this down, fill it in, and bring it back up. And there we have the white side complete. So you'll notice that you have not only the white side complete, but you have, this is just by chance, so we can ignore this. We've got a colored T. So we've got the edges of the orange side, sorry, the corners, the edge by default, which is this white piece which we had from stage 1, step 1, and we have the centerpiece. So you should have a colored T on each of the 4 sides as you look with the white facing up. So that's the end of step 2, and now we move on to step 3. Right, so now we're moving on to step 3, which is completing the second layer, that is this layer here, what some people call the equator. So we need to get the appropriate color that matches both this and this, which it will by default, but that's another story. So in any case, we need to, stage 1 we had the yellow up, stage 2 we had the white up, now stage 3 we need the white facing away from us. So you have it up and you turn it away from you like that. The first step is we need to find these edge pieces here, one of these 4 edge pieces that doesn't have a yellow, either on the external facing out or facing towards us. So this instantly we have to forget about that and consider these other 3. Just check if there's yellow on any of those 3, and there are none. All 3 of them have no yellow, so we can choose any one. We need to match this color with its relevant center color, its face. We need to get it onto its face. so the correct face. So we can either, let's move the top two layers until we see blue. There we go. And now we know this needs to go, it goes on the top, but it needs to go on the red side, which is here. So we're going from right to left. So we move towards the right, away from this cube here. So we turn the front face this way. Then we go the bottom towards the piece we're going to change, which is up here. Bring that down. Swap and bring it back. And now we need to just recreate the white face. So we've got a row of 3 here and 1 here. That means the white's over here. Bring it down. We need to get this white in here. So we move the white out of the way. In this case, it can go either left or right. Bring that meridian line, I like to call it, if the other one is equator, bring it up. Put the white there and then bring it back down. Now we need the white away from us again, and we repeat the step. Look for a cube that doesn't have yellow. Here's a good one. So go to the green. Now which way are we going? Left or right? We're going towards the left, from right to left, because this is orange. So if we're going from right to left, then we go away towards the right, the bottom towards the piece, bring the piece down, substitute it, bring it back up, and fix the white side again. So look for the white and fix it. Move this away, bring it up, put the white in, and then bring it back to complete the white side. White away from us. We can't use this cube because it's got yellow in it. Can't use this one. Can't use that one. We can use this one. Go towards red. We're going right to left because this is green and needs to go over here. So we move away, front, clockwise if you want to know the algorithm, bottom, clockwise, left, clockwise, middle, clockwise, left, anti. And then we have it back. We need just to put the white back. So white down, move this lone piece out of the way, bring the meridian layer up, put the white in and bring it down. So I think, yeah, this time we've completed the cube. Some situations which you may find that you have each one of the 4 edge pieces has a yellow in it, in which case you just use that move that I just taught you to remove one of these pieces and bring it out into this front face. So if all of these were yellow, you would repeat the move as if you're trying to get this piece into here or this piece into here, but you would essentially be swapping out the pieces so that you can then work with one that doesn't have yellow. So I hope that's clear. That's the end of stage 3. So far we have the white face done, we have the top layer and the second layer done. Let's move on to stage 4, step 4. Okay, so we've done 3 stages. This is step 4, the yellow side, part 1, getting the cross. What do I mean by getting the cross? So first of all, flip the cube over so that we have the yellow side up. You know it's the yellow side because it's, number 1, it's the opposite side to the white side. Number 2, the central piece is yellow. And so you will have one of 3 scenarios. Either you'll have what I call the ball, which is just the centerpiece, in which case you need to repeat this moveset 3 times, or you'll have what I like to call a boomerang, and after I'll explain why I'm naming them in this way. If you have a ball, you'll have a boomerang, which will be the ball with 2 yellow pieces here and here, so like an L, a hook. Other people call it the hook, which is a 3-piece L, inverted L. or flipped mirrored L, and you hold it in the top left hand corner. So if you had the L down here, then you would just rotate it so that it ends up in the top left like this. And I'll have some links and stuff or images in the video to explain this. You'll have so as I said, you'll have the ball, or you'll have the boomerang, or you'll have what I like to call the javelin, which is this. In this case we have the javelin, so we hold the javelin so that it's horizontal. If you have the ball, you do the move set 3 times. If you have the boomerang, you do the move set 2 times. If you have the javelin, you just need to do it once, and that move is through the roof. So you throw balls, boomerangs and javelins through the roof. You can imagine them flying through the air. So it's an easy way to remember this move set, which would be F-R-U, that's through, roof, R-U-F. The first 3 letters, that is the through, is clockwise. The last 3 letters, roof, R-U-F for roof, is anti-clockwise. So front for through, clockwise, right clockwise, up clockwise, and that's through. Now you follow up with roof, R anti-clockwise, up anti-clockwise, F anti-clockwise. And there we see we have the yellow cross. So that's how you get to the yellow cross. That was a very short stage 4, and we will move on to stage 5, so advancing on to completing the yellow side. So welcome back to this tutorial on how to solve the Rubik's Cube. We're at stage 5, I believe, yeah, the yellow side, part 2, the fish. So we have the cross. Now the algorithm we're going to need, unfortunately, I can't think of a way to get this into pictures. Comment in the comment section if you can, as I've done with the ball and boomerang and so on. But I simply remember from muscle memory. So from this point, you face the X towards you. It's indifferent whichever way you do it, but once you start, then we'll see there's some intricacies, some things you have to remember. So right clockwise, up clockwise, right anti-clockwise, up clockwise, right clockwise, up twice, right anti-clockwise, and we see we have the fish. This time we have the fish with the yellow facing us. If we had the fish with the yellow here, then we'd have to do the move set 1 more time to get it here, and then that last time to get this yellow side complete. So the fish needs to point to the bottom left. So the boomerang in the prior stage needs to be at the top left. This time the fish's face its mouth needs to be pointing towards the bottom left, with its fins towards the top right. So let's repeat that move set 1 more time to complete the yellow side. Right clockwise, up clockwise, right anti-clockwise, up clockwise, right clockwise, up 2 times, right anti-clockwise. And there we have it, the yellow side is complete. And now we need to move on to stage 6. So this is stage 6 of completing the Rubik's Cube. This time we need to match these corner pieces. So we need to see 2 blues, or 2 of each color, or all 3. So we look for a side that has, the first thing we need to do is look for a side which does have 2. In this case we have it here, and we need to move that towards its appropriate face, which is green here. So this, it doesn't matter what color this is, the fact that these 2 are the same and we match them with its appropriate side. If you should come up with a situation where all 4 faces have random or mixed colors with no 2 identical matching colors on the left and right corners, in that case you just need to do the move set 1 more time. So I'm not sure, I can't remember whether it would be 2 and 3 or 1 and 2, but whatever the case, you need to do it 1 more time. So when we do have one that matches, such as this, that side needs to go away from you, so on this side here. So we turn it so it's away from us, and we do the following moveset, which, if you try to remember the formula, it's quite long-winded. But if you remember rough rub, so a rough loafer or sponge in the bath, then you will know that it's RF for rough, rub, RB, and you repeat that twice. And then we have one more lone R at the end. So then after that, it's just muscle memory to remember which direction or how many turns you need to turn for each of those 4 letters. So in this case, we start with rough, rub, RF, RB, right, anti or towards you, front, towards the side that you just brought towards you, or that's clockwise if you want to use that lingo. So right anti, front clockwise, right anti again, back twice, 1, 2, and take note of the colors you see. So you'll have white here and then 1 white here, like an inverted white L. So we've done back twice, now we do right again. Right this time is forwards or clockwise. Right, so what comes next? Rough, the front. The front is anti, so that we see these yellows here. Then we have right again, which is back towards us, or that is right anti. Back, I believe it's 2 times, yeah, until you see 2 rows of yellow, and then right 2 times. And now you will notice that we have the orange is complete, so we move that to the orange side. As before, that goes to the back, and you'll notice that the other 3 sides, as we have the yellow up and the white down, the other 3 are complete. That is, that they have their matching colors. So that is the end of stage 6. We have one more stage, one more step to go, and that's 7, completing the cube. So for the final push towards completing the Rubik's Cube, step 7, we need to repeat a pretty lengthy, long algorithm, but there's a way to remember it, and I'll share that with you right now. So the algorithm is, let me just get it and read it out, so I've got it written here. The algorithm is R2, UR, U, R anti-clockwise, U anti-clockwise, R anti-clockwise. Let me read that again, because I'll read it with the actual words. It's right 2 times, up clockwise, right clockwise, up clockwise, right anti-clockwise, up anti-clockwise, right anti-clockwise, up anti-clockwise, right anti-clockwise, up, right anti-clockwise. Now that's very long. Don't be afraid. Don't get scared. There's an easy way to remember it. So let's do that together here now. So how do I remember? First of all, I note that it's a whole bunch of U and R's, so I just remember you are. Like I'm saying to you, you are a person. I just remember that, you are. So I start with R2, and then I know I've got to just do a series of URs to finish the algorithm. The only thing is that I need to remember direction. So how do I do that? There are 3 clockwise directions. So we started with R, we did R twice. U, that's up clockwise, 1. Right clockwise, 2. Up clockwise, 3. You stop at 3, and now you do 5 in the opposite direction. So the last thing we did was up clockwise for 3. Now we do right anti-clockwise, that's 1. Up anti-clockwise, 2. Right anti, 3. Up anti, 4. Right anti, 5. And then finally up clockwise, right anti-clockwise. And we've completed that algorithm. We have to do it one more time to solve the cube. Just make sure the complete face is on the back as it is. It will be there if you've done it correctly. So let's do that one more time. Right twice. Now we know it's going to be upright, upright, upright all the way until we see the cube complete. But we've got to count 3, clockwise and 5 anti-clockwise. At the end of that, you have 2 more moves to do, and you'll probably be able to see how you'll remember which way to turn the remaining up and right. So it's up clockwise, right anti-clockwise. So let's do it one more time. Right twice. 1, 2, 3. That's all clockwise. 1, 2. These are all anti. 3, 4, 5. Up. And you can see already, because these reds are here, you know that up's got to be clockwise and right's got to be anti. And there we have it. You've got your solved Rubik's Cube. So if this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up, a like, drop a comment, write solved in the comment section if this was your first time solving the cube, subscribe, like, share if you feel it's going to be useful for someone, and I hope you got a lot out of this tutorial, and I'll catch you in the next video. Method designed to show you how to solve the Rubik's Cube without all the complicated how to solve the cube in a straightforward, easy,